What's up, everybody? Smooth Cosplayer here, your favorite salsa dancing cosplayer, and con season is upon us. And one of the things that means is that if you're on social media, any kind of cosplay group or convention group on Facebook or anything like that, is that you are probably going to, if you haven't already, seen a PSA that has something to do with hygiene. Now, I am all on board with that. I'm all about being hygienic and not being musty or stinky around people. I would do a PSA myself. However, I feel like someone else has already done that a lot better than I can. So I'm just going to show you guys a clip of one of my favorite YouTubers, SpiffyPenguin, one of her videos about said hygiene.
Please shower. Please shower and wash yourself before you go to that convention. Please take a shower in the morning before you take your body into that convention hall. Get into the water, get some soap, rub your underarms, rub your arms, rub behind your ears. Give yourself a cleaning. Please do not show up at the convention with no shower and no deodorant.
There you have it. Like I said, I couldn't have said it better myself. Now, today, I'm not going to talk a whole lot about hygiene or lack thereof in and of itself. Well, let me stop lying, because I know at some point I'm going to go on some big tangent about it. So I'll try not to talk about it as much. But my main point today is not hygiene, but the weird and, in my opinion, ridiculous responses that I see to these PSAs and these groups. Because for some reason it's a very touchy subject. Don't know why. So basically just going to tackle some of those responses, because to me it seems like people are defending mustiness, defending a lack of hygiene. So before I dive into that, let me just make it clear what I'm not talking about, okay? First of all, I'm not talking about people who have some kind of medical condition or a sensitivity or allergy to, say, soap or particular types of soap, particular types of deodorant, things like that. Anything that may hinder your hygiene. That's not what I'm talking about today. If you're one of those people, I'm not talking about you, okay? And for the most part, that's not the norm. I'm not saying people that have that aren't normal. What I'm saying is that most of the people who are the offenders that smell super bad aren't those people, okay? The vast majority of the people that, are the offensive smellers are people who are just, they don't make it a habit to wash, they don't make it a priority to shower or, use deodorant, things like that. That's what I'm talking about, okay? I'm also not talking about just your normal buildup of sweat and stinkiness, because let's be honest, if you're out at a con, especially when it's hot in the summertime, and you're in a costume for a long period of time, that's going to happen. That is not what I'm talking about, okay? That's just it. You can only take so many showers, okay? That's impractical to expect someone to be in a costume for an hour, go take a shower, be in a costume for an hour, go take a shower. It just doesn't work, okay? That's not going to maximize your time at a convention. And let's be real, there's a difference between the funk that comes from being in a full suit of EVA foam armor for half a day and the funk that comes from just not touching water for the last 7 days, okay? There's a difference there, all right? So just want to get that out of the way first, okay? So the first response that I've seen that's kind of ridiculous to me, but on the low scale of ridiculousness, is the thought that talking about hygiene is beating a dead horse. Now, I have a few friends of mine who are in this camp. If you're watching this, friends, just know that I'm not upset. I don't love you any less. I'm just plain disagreeing with you. That's all. We just don't agree on that one thing. This is not a dig at you. This is not a shot at you. We're just disagreeing. But yeah, a lot of people will, if they see those PSAs in the Facebook group or whatever, they'll say, oh, well, there's already so many posts about this. There's too many posts about this. Why are we still talking about this? Well, with anything that is a problem, and is still a problem since the first time it was talked about, people are still going to talk about it. If something remains a problem, people are still going to talk about it. Okay, so when it comes to mustiness, there's only so much you can do about that. A lot of people will say, oh, well, you should there should be more action as opposed to just so much talking. But there's not much you can do as far as action, okay? You can't force somebody else to be hygienic. You can't take somebody, hold them down in the shower, and make them take a bath. That just doesn't work, you know, at least not without a lawsuit. So, and all you can really do is make things aware. All you can do is raise awareness for it and hope that people listen. You know, people make those jokes about, oh, I'll be that person at the con handing out deodorant and soap. But as we all know, the people who need it the most won't take it, right? Because, you know, I guess people get nose blind at some point. And then, you know, and y'all don't come with me with the whole be the change you want to see. Those of us who are complaining about the mustiness, most likely, we already are the change we want to see. We don't stink like that. So yeah, and at the risk of somebody from PETA coming to me, if that horse ain't really dead, okay? If there's a problem and people still talking about it, that horse is alive and well and racing and dropping horse turds all over the place, okay? That horse ain't dead, okay? So another thing, people will say that to suggest that people should be clean and not musty is a body shaming or bullying. We're not bullying you by asking you to be considerate, because in my opinion, if for some reason you just can't be bothered to wash, or if you just don't make being clean a priority, and you're forcing other people around you to be subject to your stench, that's inconsiderate to me. That's rude to me. Okay, so that's not. To me, that's not bullying. That's not body shaming. Now, if in the manner of which you say this, if you are going up to somebody insulting them, if you are insulting their character, if you're calling them names, if you're being mean, if you're being otherwise a dick to them, then that's bullying. Then that's shaming. But just to simply suggest, hey, can you be considerate and wash? Can you be considerate and not stink? That's not, bullying. And then people want to say it's body shaming. No, sorry, not body shaming. People want to say it's body policing as well. Okay, yeah, of course. You do have the right to govern your body the way you want. I'm sorry, I said that with a sarcastic tone. I did not mean that sarcastically. Yes, you do have a right to do that. However, don't be surprised if people opt to not be around you because of how you smell, okay? Because let's be really honest here. It's really distracting to be talking to someone and just a foul smell is coming out of their mouth, or you get within 3 feet of the person and the stench comes off of them, okay? That's really distracting. It's hard to hold a conversation with that person, okay? It's hard to be behind someone in line that smells like that, and you're stuck in this panel line because you want to see that celebrity so bad, or you want to be in on that panel so bad, but the person in front of you in line or behind you just reeks, and you're like, dang, I gotta put up with this for the next 30 minutes to an hour. That's really distracting. That's really unpleasant. It really can ruin your experience, okay? So yeah, by all means, you can not wash if you want, but just don't be surprised if you have trouble making friends or making acquaintances at a con. Because let's be honest, a lot of the same people who complain about people complaining about mustiness, those are the same people that they're like, what? I can't make friends at the con. I can't, make any lasting relationships. That might be why, okay? Another thing, so this isn't really like a point in and of itself. This is more of a story, I guess. So I was in a particular cosplay group that I'm still in, and we got to talking about the same subject. We were going back and forth, not arguing. We were all agreeing with each other, and we got on the subject of taking a shower. And one particular lady came in and said, well, sometimes it's hard to take a shower when you got so many people in the room. And I thought to myself, to me, that's not an excuse, because let me tell you guys something. So you guys know from my little spiel in the beginning of each video that I dance salsa, and prior to going to comic conventions, I used to go to salsa congresses a lot. Just to clarify what that is, if you basically just take a comic convention and swap out nerdiness for salsa dancing, same thing, same exact thing. So at said salsa congresses, we're dancing all day. We got hours of workshops during the day where we may or may not have time to go shower in between. And, we end at maybe about 4 or 5 o'clock. People go eat, people go shower, and we come back, watch some performances. Then from like 11 to 12 at night until about 3 or 4 in the morning, we're dancing. And I mean dancing hard. I mean like real hard. So by the very essence of what we're doing, creates sweat, creates perspiration, may create some funk and mustiness. But let me tell you guys, I've never, or very rarely have I gone to a salsa convention and walked into a cloud of funk. I've done that plenty of times at a comedy convention, okay? Now, at a salsa convention, again, where we're doing something that causes sweat, you know, and I'm in a hotel room with, I've been 4, 5, 6, 8 deep in a hotel room before at a salsa convention, and I've never been like, dang, somebody in here stinks. Because we all find a way to take a shower, okay? If you want to do it, you can make it happen, okay? For me, I do it before everybody gets up, I do it after everybody goes to bed, or I make it back to the room before everybody else gets in there. I find a way, and everybody else in the room did too. No matter how deep we were in that room, we figured out a way. So it's not a matter of how many people are in that room, it's a matter of how bad do you actually want to take a shower. If you want to, you'll make it happen. So that's not an excuse. Same lady, you know, rebuttal. She responded saying, well, you don't know what that person went through just to get to the con. And I'm like, what does what you had to go through to get to the con have to do with whether or not you take a shower in that hotel room? It has nothing to do with nothing, all right? So let me just break that down a little bit. Let me just humor her for a second. So when you pay for that hotel room, or pay for your part of that hotel room, you are paying for all intents and purposes, an unlimited supply of hot water. You know, you are not paying extra to take a shower there, so you've already paid for that. So whatever financial hardships you went through to get to the con, it has no effect on your ability to take a shower. You know, so again, it goes back to your desire to do so. It goes back to whether or not you want to. All right, and let's just pretend for a second that, you know, you are paying extra for, you know, showering or the water that you use. If money is a problem, y'all understand this, and I'm going on a slight tangent here. Let me talk to some of my fellow cosplayers out there who may be younger, you know, in your late teens, early 20s, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's okay to not go to a con, all right? Going to a con is a luxury. You don't have to go. As much as I joke about saying I gotta go to Dragon Con every year, I gotta go to this con, you know, if for some reason my finances were shot, or if for some reason it was going to be a detriment to me and my family, I'm not going. You know, I'll be, you know, disappointed, but I ain't going. You know, y'all don't forsake, you know, I know we all hate adulting. You know, even me as a husband and a father, I hate adulting sometimes because it kills the pockets. But you got to do it, okay? Be responsible, all right? You ain't got to go to the con, okay? I know, you know, I agree with the fact that going to a convention and cosplaying is, you know, it helps us escape the stresses of, you know, regular life. It helps us escape, you know, all the craziness and the mundaneness and all of that. But there will be another con. You can see your friends another time. You can go cosplay another time. Maybe even the next month after you get your stuff together. But don't forsake your bills. Don't forsake your responsibilities. Don't go to the con and come home and see a notice on your door that you are about to get evicted. Don't go to the con and come home and find out that your lights are off. Don't go to the con and all of a sudden you can't call somebody because your phone got turned off, okay? If it's going to hinder you financially, don't go. It's okay to not go. All right, so reeling that back in, you know, saying, oh, well, you don't know what that person had to go through just to get to the con. You know, again, this theoretical idea that maybe you had to pay for the water. If that's going to keep you from being hygienic and taking a shower, you might not need to go. So, oh, here's one more. This one was so ridiculous. I might get a little heated talking about this one. So in the MomoCon group last year, I think this was on Friday of the con. So apparently, because registration I think was Thursday, someone mentioned in the group how the funk was so bad in the line that they had to stand 5 feet away from the person in front of them because the smell was so bad. And a lot of us were like, dang, how are you stinking on Thursday? How are you smelling funky on Thursday? You just got there. You probably ain't even checked in yet. How are you smelling that bad? And one person responded to that saying that those of us who are complaining about mustiness at a convention are bandwagon convention goers, that we aren't real nerds, and that we're sucking the fun out of everything by complaining about the mustiness. You know what's really sucking the fun out of everything? Being around somebody who is, you can't get within 4 or 5 feet of them without smelling something. It really sucks the fun out of everything. You can't stay in the gamer room because it's so freaking funky in there. It sucks the fun out of everything where you're in a panel that you waited an hour to get into, and the person sitting next to you or the person a few rows in front of you smells and you can't enjoy it because that's distracting. That sucks the fun out of everything. Not complaining about fun. And I also hate that statement that he made, because it feeds into the misconception that all us nerds and geeks don't wash or don't take care of ourselves, don't take care of our hygiene. That's not true. The vast majority of us actually do. It's just a few bad ones that make it seem bad for everybody else. That's where we get that stigma that nerds and geeks, aren't hygienic. Okay, so for you to say that we're bandwagon geeks, that we're bandwagon congoers because we're complaining about funk, that's what irritated me there. And saying that we're sucking the fun out of it. No. People being disrespectful and people who just can't bother to be hygienic, can't bother to put their body in water, because for whatever reason, I don't know why they feel like that's inconvenient to them, but it's inconvenient to everybody else that have to be subject to that. So that's it, y'all. I'm done venting. I'm done rambling about this subject. But yes, I just want to talk about why people seem to want to defend mustiness, defend a lack of hygiene. Okay, and again, if you don't use a lot of deodorant, if you don't use a lot of soap, or if you don't take a bath at the rate that everybody else does due to something medical, due to some kind of sensitivity or an allergy, I'm not talking about y'all. This whole rant was not about y'all. Okay, please don't misunderstand that. I'm not aiming that at y'all. But anyway, that's it, guys. You have a good night, have a good time, or whatever kind you're going to next. Good luck on your cosplay builds. Take a bath, wash yourself, take a bath, show me what you're scrubbing with, and I will see y'all at the next video. Peace.
Please shower. Please shower and wash yourself before you go to that convention. Please take a shower in the morning before you take your body into that convention hall. Get into the water, get some soap, rub your underarms, rub your arms, rub behind your ears. Give yourself a cleaning. Please do not show up at the convention with no shower and no deodorant.